What it is, y'all, the return of Monty Mentality. Once again, number 7, lucky number 7. Shouts to Mike Vick and them. And as you can see, we got Bunche back.
Excited to be back for lucky number 7. Talk some hoops. Let's get to it.
Yes, sir. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell button. You know the usual. Today, once again, we flipping it up on y'all a little bit. We are going to get to the non-sport stuff first. So, ladies, don't click off just yet. Click off halfway through this, right? And then, but then, of course, you know, the NBA is right around the corner. We're only 11 days from opening night. So, of course, we're going to talk about a lot of basketball today.
Yes, sir.
And that also includes the women, WNBA. That's right.
Hoopers.
They be hooping. And DC football is back, so it seems. We'll see. But let's get right into it. So I told you we're going to switch it up. Well, guess what? We are, because we're going to talk about cheating science. That's right, infidelity. People be out here cheating, and we're going to reveal the science behind it or whatever, or at least this study that was done on actual cheaters, not people who might cheat, actual cheaters. So disclaimer, black men were not much part of this sample because, you know, we don't cheat. So clearly they did not have.
Why waste the time?
Yeah, they clearly didn't come to us.
Why waste the time? We don't cheat.
Exactly. So just want to put that disclaimer out there before we get started. But okay, let's go to the top 3 reasons why women stated they cheated. Now, keep in mind, this might not be the only reason they cheated, but these were the most frequent answers. Number 1 was relationship dissatisfaction. Number 2 was lack of investment. And number 3 was revenge. So first of all, that third reason, again, clearly they didn't sample black women, at least on that one. That probably wasn't an answer very often with black women because, again, black men don't cheat, so that wouldn't be a reason, right? Duh. But yeah, what do you say to all of those, Bunche?
What do you mean by investment?
So, like, lack of investment from their partner. So, like, they're not really into the relationship.
Emotionally.
Yeah. They're emotionally, maybe physically, whatever. Like, they're not really, they feel like their partner's just kind of checked out, or like they're just not really engaged. They just kind of feel like, you know, I'm trying to put this out, but it's kind of like, just like, whatever, I don't give a shit. Or at least it feels that way.
Yeah. No, I probably agree with that. That checks out. Sounds about right.
And it's interesting because with women, it does feel like the narrative, or I guess what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know if it's narrative or bro science or whatever, that like women, when they cheat, it kind of is more about the man than it is, you know, just themselves. Whereas with men, it's just kind of like, you know, there's not anything you can do really. There may be some truth to that, as we'll get to the top reasons men cheated in a minute. But yeah, that's what it seems like to me, is that a lot of women's cheating is tied to just how they feel about the man that they already have. Of course,
I probably agree with that though, for the most part.
Yeah, and of course, now this doesn't mean that cheating is okay. Obviously not. You know, obviously she's a grown woman; she can still make her own decisions. But you know, it's cool to note regardless, right? Now, top reasons men cheated. Much more diverse answers on that one.
There was a gun to my head. Right. That's probably number 1.
If it was a black man, obviously.
Oh, true. That's true.
That's the only way.
We wasn't a part of this. You're right.
Yeah.
My bad.
That's the only way that's happening, right? You would literally have to take not even just any gun. Like, it gotta be like a shotgun or joint where I know one hit from that, I'm done. That's the only way you're gonna get me to cheat on my girl, personally, you know. Because again, I'm a black man. Like,
Facts.
come on, son. Like, but seriously, I ain't with that cheat shit. That just takes too much effort. But that's a different story. But yeah, the actual reasons that they said in the study, dissatisfaction was also number 1 for men with their relationship. but a much less common answer. It was like less than half of it was of what it was for women. So I think women was like 65% or something, and men was like 30%. So much lower. So this is why I said men's answers were much more diverse. I think they said another 16% said because their partner was a fair partner. Was attractive or sexy, whatever. Right? Sounds about right. And then
what was the percentage on that one?
16.
Okay.
And then another 14% said sexual desire. I'm sure there's a lot of overlap between those, but yeah. but, for sure. But yeah. So again, men cheated for much, seemingly anyway, for more of a variety of reasons. But yeah, it seems to be more tied to the women in question, or just them just being a douche or whatever, right? But what I will say is another interesting thing is that there's this thing they have called the dual mating strategy they use in psychology or whatever, where it's like basically you have two different mates that serve two different functions. Now, the red pill, so to speak, thing on this is that alpha fucks beta bucks. So that basically means they go, for women, they go to one man like for like the sexual desire, and he's seen as like, you know, the super masculine guy, whatever, that can knock their socks off or whatever. And then the other guy is the one that's like providing, the beta is providing the resources, the money, better father, caretaker, all of that. Like he's the one that's going to be more invested, etc. And this paper, so to speak, kind of like is like the best case scenario for that theory. But what I will say though, and first of all, both the men and the women here said that the affair partner, the majority of them anyway, I think 77% of the women, I don't know the percent of men, but I'm pretty sure it probably wasn't that far off. 77% said that their affair partner was more attractive than their main squeeze, which that shouldn't be surprising, but you know, there's this myth that people.
No, I guess it's not.
I mean,
it could go either way. But
it could go either way. Yeah. But like basically, that people usually cheat down and not up, and this seems to go against that. Which I mean, you would hope so, right?
That's how you make sure you don't catch feelings.
True, but I think what happens is too, and that's another thing that I want to touch on real quick, is the idea of like, because one thing I used to always think is that when women cheat, they clearly like the other guy more than they do their boyfriend, husband, whatever. And now I'm kind of like, it's not, because the thing is, the other thing about this study is that basically, yes, they thought that their affair partner was more attractive, like physically, sexually, whatever, but they didn't think they were more attractive overall as a partner than their main squeeze, which probably because the main squeeze is probably more invested, you know, better father, mother, whatever. And again, both men and women are on this page where it's like, hey.
What is the age demographic for this?
That I don't know.
Because I think that answer changes depending on age too. Talking about a 25-year-old woman compared to a 40-year-old woman. So
definitely would agree with that, because that's another key thing too, is that most people, first of all, only, and this sounds low, but actually when you think about it, it's high. For marriages, I think they said, at least in the psychology research, it seems that about 25% of marriages have a partner that cheats at any point in the marriage. 25%, so 1 out of 4. And I think, and most of the time it'll be the man, but obviously not black men. Black marriages are exempt from that because we know. But yeah, that men are more likely to cheat is pretty much one of the most scientifically agreed upon things. Again,
what kind of men?
Those
White
who
men.
are, non-black, obviously.
Oh, true.
Obviously non-black. are not included in that. But I mean, no, non-black are included. It's black that's not included.
There we go.
But yeah,
Important to drive that fact home.
of course. We are here to inform the people. We are not a misinformation podcast. We are going to tell it the truth and give you nothing but the facts.
Facts.
And the fact is, black men and cheating go together like the Cowboys and winning Super Bowls in the 2020s. Like that just don't match. Like that don't go together.
2020s, the 2000s period.
2000s, yeah. 2010s, 20s, 30s, 40s. Well, maybe when Jerry Jones goes on to glory, maybe it'll change.
Hopefully after I go to glory.
Exactly.
I don't ever want to see that.
I don't ever want to see that shit. Never, ever. But yeah.
I'd rather black men start cheating.
Exactly. 100% agree with that. But yeah, the most interesting thing to me was that they didn't find their affair partner more attractive overall than their partner at home. I think when I actually looked at the paper, it looked like they slightly had the affair partner a little bit, but like it was not significant. So basically, it was basically about the same. And the other thing I want to drive home though before we get off of this and go to the next scientific thing I want to talk about is that one, the majority of people, especially as we get older, don't really cheat like that for real, despite what the internet might tell you. So I guess that's a white pill for you.
Ain't nobody got time for that when you get older.
You really don't. Like, dog, I barely got enough time for you. You think I got time to be pursuing somebody else?
I got time for all that.
I got shit to do. Like, I got too much shit to do. And then especially when you're throwing kids and shit, if you got those running around, like, where you got the time to go? Like, oh, yeah, that's another thing that I want to address real quick that I seen on Twitter. Like, this guy was talking about, like, oh, man, because a lot of times when you see couples break up after they have a kid, like real early in the kid's life, the first thing I think to myself is, damn, that nigga must have not been doing shit with the kid if they broke up that fast. Like, I just know you wasn't handling business or trying to make it easier for as a father. And then one thing that they said in the research shows on that, or at least, I don't know if it was actual super scientific, but I was like, it makes sense. A lot of times it's the man was cheating in that instance too.
A lot of times from what I've seen, it's like they was going to break up before the kid. They had the kid and they just bought him some more time.
It just buys
and then that just, once the kid come, you know, you give it a couple years and then they done.
But like I've seen a couple where it's like they get within like the first 6 months. First 6 months, I'm like, come on, bro. like what are you even doing? And like I seen a tweet from a guy that was like, oh, I could see why men cheat when they're early in the kid, and like because you know, oh, she not paying me no attention and blah blah blah. I'm like, nigga,
that's wild.
I'm like, nigga, like, dog, you got a whole newborn. First of all, how are you even outside when your kid can't even hold their head up? Like, what are you doing outside? Like, go bond with your baby, bruh. Number one. But number two,
niggas not trying to bond with the baby till he like 6.
Right?
Can you throw a football yet?
Right? Nigga, can you pick up this controller yet? Oh,
yeah.
Nah, fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Like, so yeah, it's like, where are you finding the time to go cheat? Like, I don't understand it. Like if, and this is a big if, I would say it's more likely not than is, but if it were to happen where I have a kid, you won't see me outside for a good 3 to 6 months, at least, outside of like absolute real important obligation type shit.
Shit, let me fuck around and have a kid. You ain't gonna see me for 18 years. I'm not coming back outside.
And when I say outside, and keep in mind, even after that, you won't see me outside that much, but like just any outside, like it better be like somebody's birthday, and even then that's shaky. Funerals, you know, shit like that.
Better catch me at Hooters when that kid get old enough. We'll be watching the game at Hooters together. That's it. I'm not coming back outside. I already don't want to be outside now.
Exactly. I definitely don't. But yeah. But yeah, basically, The other thing about that dual mating I just talked about, where you have the guy who is like the sexy one that she likes.
Wait, hold on. Is this the pretty girl that did this report? I forgot her name.
No. Oh, you talking about Sadia, the psychologist? No.
Oh, okay.
She actually will say women cheat more, if anything. But she's from the middle. Well, actually, I think she's from like London, but she lives in the Middle East. She lives in Dubai.
Right.
Yeah, she's like Pakistani or something, but she grew up in London, I think. But yeah, but her perspective is a little different because she, like I said, she's from that Muslim background and shit. But yeah, I would say that usually both men and women, this is true, we try to get both of those qualities of like the attractive and the good parent type quality shit. Most of us try to get that in one package, but especially women try to get that in one package. They're not trying to delegate from, all right, you're gonna be the hot one, and then I'm gonna have this nice stable one to actually like raise the family with. Like,
hey, shout out to any brother that can put up with that many attitudes and personalities.
Can't be me. Listen, I don't even want to date more than one girl at a time, to be honest with you. Like, if it's up to me, it's like, listen, you gonna be my girlfriend within like the first 2 weeks, so I can just not have to even go back outside no more. Like,
and I say shout out to them. No, not shout out to them, but I'm just saying that's a lot of work. That's a lot of work.
It's too much work.
I can't do it.
It's too
I
much
can only
work.
like one person at a time.
Right. I only got space to like. Once I like one person, until I stop liking that person, like these, like whether we together or not, these other girls, I just be like.
One caveat: she's a Cowboys fan. Then I can lie too.
If you're a Cowboys or Yankees fan, I might be able to diversify my portfolio a little bit.
Yeah.
I kid. He's not kidding. but yeah, if I like one girl, like I'm like I shut down. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like I'm like until I stop liking her. I just don't even have the energy, the capacity.
That's very blue pill of us.
It is. Yes, actually, that you actually used that correctly. That is blue pill.
Sure.
But yeah, being a good partner as a man will also greatly decrease your risk of getting cheated on. So remember that, and also just choose right the first time. Don't choose a girl that loves male attention too much. That seems obvious, you know. And just treat her well, and you probably won't get cheated on, chances are. So, yeah. Stop being scared, young man. Stop being scared. Stop letting the internet get all in your head. But speaking of qualities and partners, the next thing is preference science. So, there was another study from Podcast Listen to about stated versus revealed preferences. So, in case you are wondering what stated versus revealed, stated preferences is basically, I say I like girls with big butts. Obviously, Bunche would agree.
Mm-hmm.
That's a stated preference. A revealed preference is my actual girlfriend does not have a big butt. Now, it wouldn't happen to me though, but just saying, like that's just the example of what we're talking about when we say stated versus stated. Basically, is what you say you want in someone, and revealed is okay when we look at who you actually like, who you actually date, who you actually end up with. What qualities do they have, and how does that line up with what you say you want? So the reason why this paper was interesting is because while people are slightly good at knowing what they want, there are some real discrepancies. Now, before I go, let's see if Bunche can take a stab at what you think are the most likely traits. Now, it's 35 different traits that they measured. I'm not going to list them all because I don't even remember them all. But there's 35 different traits that they measured from, like, you know, physical stuff, non-physical stuff, emotional, all that. Mm-hmm. What would you say do you think are, and you could break it down by gender if you want as well, are the most likely ones where what they stated did not match with what they actually went for? Or to put it another way, what did they value less than they would think, and what did they value more than what you would think?
I actually don't know.
All right, so
You had to school me on this one.
all right, so biggest thing that stood out: physical attractiveness or anything to do with that. Both men and women underestimated how important that was for who they like.
They underestimated it, so it's more important.
It's more important than what they say it is. Both men and women. But
It's because people be faking like they good people.
but here's the thing with that: men underestimated it some, but women really underestimated it. Meaning, men do, when you ask people how they value certain traits, men will put more of a premium on physical attractiveness than women will when you ask. But then when you see who they actually pick, they end up about the same.
Well, it's not who they pick; it's who picks them.
Also, that's true.
They might say physical attraction, but the physically attracted girls is like, nah, I'm cool.
Well, you get the most physically attractive that you can get.
Yeah, exactly.
But like I said, again, men also underestimated, meaning that they gravitated even more towards who was more physically attractive than they would have even said at the door. But again, it's just that women were even more underestimating it, which again, if you actually look in real life, it's not surprising from my experience.
Well, it's because this generation, they try to act like they good people.
Exactly.
No, I don't care about that.
Sure you don't.
Yeah, exactly.
So anything to do, so looks, body, sexiness, all that ended up higher on the actual revealed list than where they stated it. But again, for women, there was a bigger discrepancy.
So let me guess what's on the low end. Probably like education or something.
That was, that's a good one. So let's talk about education, anything to do with like ambition, good job, financially stable. So these were, and this matches my experience from what I see in real life too. Women value those less than what they say they do.
I would agree with that.
Those were less. But here's the interesting part about that. Men, on the other hand, underestimated how important those things were.
I would agree with that too.
And I also would agree with that. So they end up at about, again, with the physical, just like physical attractiveness, with those traits, they end up at about the same place. But men underestimate how important that is. Women overestimate how important it is to them.
I'd probably agree with that. Like in my experience, yeah.
Now, the number one trait, and I think this is true for both sexes, the number one trait in revealed, so this wasn't in stated. Stated, I think loyalty was number one. That ended up number two in actual. So people do value loyalty a lot. But there's something that they value more than that is even above that.
Instagram followers.
Close.
The fact that you said close scares me.
No, I'm joking. It's
okay.
That was not one of the traits. But number one was good lover. So that's right, fellas. You better learn how to lay that pipe if you want to keep her. That's right. Good lover was number one. And I think in stated, it was like number 12. So people way underestimate how important that is, generally speaking. But what I will say to that, though, is there's probably more that goes into that than what meets the eye.
Yeah.
So, like, it's not just I know how to, like, work my shit. Like, no. It's probably, like, even stuff leading up to before that gets them even more, like, ready and whatnot.
There's more to intimacy than just the actual.
Yeah. You know, maybe, like, you talk good to her, you get her flowers earlier in the day, you write a nice little card, whatever shit that gets her thing going. Like, it's probably a lot that goes into that that's more than just being a mandingo. Like, you actually have to, like, be a loving person, and that makes that part even better, right? So there's probably a downstream or interactive effect going on there. That would be my hypothesis. But yeah, here's one that's also very underestimated, but is not surprising when you actually reveal it. Smells good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
People vastly underestimate that, but it's like, yeah, until you know. And a lot of times it's probably not even doesn't smells like they wear like great cologne and perfume. It's just they don't stink.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Like, just don't stink. Like
I've heard the conversations after a nigga has left the room. I'm like, God damn.
Like, God damn, Nick. So yeah, that's why I use the good soap, or I should say body wash in my case. But I make sure. One thing I'm not gonna do, I'm not gonna stink. I'm gonna wear my deodorant, I'm gonna wash my ass. Fuck all the bullshit. I ain't trying to be out here smelling all crazy. And another one, last one here that was lower in terms of, and I think it's for men and women too. Emotional stability was lower and revealed than stated. So apparently emotional stability is not as important as people think either, which I can buy that.
It's because emotional instability is fun.
It could be that. I think,
quote unquote, I don't think so, but that's.
But I think also what's happening there, again, this is my guess, is that even if you have someone who's a little emotionally unstable, if they're with someone that's good, then they can be a calming influence and you get less of that over time. Like there's someone being with someone that can be a calming presence for you. That's my guess. But we're gonna close this part of it out with a Montyism. Your Montyism of the day. I might have another one later if I can think of one on top of my head. But your Montyism of the day. If you can't afford her, leave her alone. But here's the thing. When I say that, your thought probably went to money. We ain't talking about financially, at least not just that. Obviously, that's part of it. But really, we're talking everything. The emotional stuff that she comes with, the time that she comes with, the investment that she needs, like, her ups and downs. You might have a girl that don't even like you every day. But
None of them are going to like you every day.
like you got to deal with all of that. And if you're not willing to deal with all of that with a chick, then leave her alone. That's how I know I really like a girl. When I'm willing to pull it up, I have self-esteem, so I have a line, but there's certain stuff that's like, look, cost of doing business, but I'm willing to pay that cost. If you're not willing to pay that cost, you gotta let her be, bro. Leave her for somebody else.
Agree with that.
And now we transition into our regular programming, the sports.
Let's get to it.
DC football is back, baby. How about them Commanders?
Have you made your apology to Jayden Daniels yet?
Not quite, but I ain't ready for that yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
What week?
Which week?
What's our record got to be before you apologize?
I don't think there's no, let me not say there's nothing he could do this year.
Oh, okay.
Let me not go that far.
Because he could win the Super Bowl.
Because I'm like, if we won the Super Bowl, some crazy, or even make the NFC Championship or something crazy, which we haven't done since we were toddlers. But if something crazy like that happened, then okay. But basically, I really is, because the thing is, a lot of my concerns, they're still there. I still see the stuff that I was concerned about. It's just that right now,
winning too much.
Huh?
Winning too much? That was your concern? Damn, that's crazy.
I still see the holes, but it might not matter.
He only completed 82% of his passes. You're right.
I ain't say he wasn't accurate now. That was not a concern. That was one of the best parts. But it's let's just say, and we'll get to this. This reminds me, I should have sent it to you before the show. RG3 had a post, or I should say a tweet, where he was like, yeah, we gonna finish what we started. I'm like, RG3, you are so shameless, bro. That shit is crazy. Oh my God. But also, I will say with RG3, it's Jayden's got the city on fire right now. And I was like, damn, it feel like 2012 all over again.
It does.
And so let's hope it doesn't end like 2012. Yeah. I have faith that Jayden won't fall to that. degree. Like, I'm pretty sure about that. But
I'm just impressed. He seems like probably like a little more poised than I was expecting.
He's very poised.
Which is a good look. So
he's very poised. They have built the offense. They have built the Jayden Daniels offense, basically. Just like they did with RG3 back in 2012. The Shanahans in them. Now you got Cliff Kingsbury. They definitely have built an offense like that. Hey, this is what Jay Daniels is, and we're going to emphasize that. Whereas, like, you see in Chicago with Caleb Williams, they like, look, this is an NFL offense. Figure it out, kid. And right now, and he's actually starting to figure it out. But we play them in about 3 weeks or so. So that's going to be exciting at Northwest Stadium now.
Games in Chicago?
No, it's here.
Oh.
But, yeah. But we have Lamar versus Jayden on Sunday. So, first of all, who's the better quarterback? Jayden.
Of course. Not even close. Who cares about those MVPs? Who cares?
Exactly. I don't really care that when Jayden was like 21, like Lamar Jackson was like winning an MVP at the same age. Like, we don't give a shit about that. Jayden.
As far as I'm concerned, they both had the same amount of Super Bowls. So
exactly.
Let's go, JD.
But yeah, who you got on Sunday? Ravens or Commandos?
Oh, I'm picking us every week, so I don't care who we play.
Commandos by 30.
Yeah,
let's go. But
until he gives me a reason to lose faith, then it's Skins 16-1.
Also, Cowboys and Eagles, y'all finna be in hell now, son.
Yeah.
Dan Snyder gone. Your days on the Cowboys haven't had days in forever, so
facts.
But now your days are really numbered. So yeah, go Commandos. Now we transition to the WNBA finals. That game last night.
Game 1, that was it.
Dog.
That was lit.
That
I would say it was probably going to be the best game of the series, but we might get 2-3 more of those. So
that shit was great. They was down by 18. I was looking at the score on my phone because I think I was like half asleep, and then I was like, hold on. And I was like, oh, okay, they done cut it down. Like, let me turn it on. Like, they about to do the fake comeback or whatever just to make the score look better. And I was like, oh, wait a minute. All right, they still got a chance. Like, all right, you know. I'm like, if everything go right, I'm like, oh, wait a minute. They done cut out of like 5. I'm like, all right. Oh, shit, nigga. I was like, and the next thing you know, Courtney Williams hit that 3-and-1. I was like, oh, shit, they actually about to do it. And then I was just waiting for the bullshit to come on that last possession. Like, I'm like, just hurry up and just get the shit over with. And then they foul Brianna. It's like, damn. I'm like, but hey, she might miss one. And of course,
she definitely missed one. She left it on the table, which, you know, high pressure
not clutch. Not clutch, Brianna.
She'll have another chance to make up for it, and she likely will. She can hoop. She's nice.
But the best player in the series is Fee. And Fee was earning that Defensive Player of the Year with the straps, seeing that. And of course, Courtney was out there balling.
Without a doubt, yeah. She's probably the most well-rounded player, like for sure, hands down.
I did see people on Twitter saying like, "Hey, we gotta have a conversation about Fee being the best player, not Asia." Wouldn't go that far yet, but Fee is definitely trying to make her case.
She's gonna be in the conversation for some years, so
yeah, until Caitlyn and Juju decide all that's over. But you know, well, Juju's a ways away.
And UConn, I forgot her name.
Paige.
Yeah.
When I think Paige comes in next year.
Yeah.
And then
she's gonna be nice.
And then Juju is 2027. Then WNBA gonna be lit, son.
Let's just hope people are still watching.
Yeah, exactly. You know, we know the Red Hats and the social justice warriors don't watch. They just want to talk shit. We ain't worried about them. So who you got going forward for the rest of this? Oh, before we get to that, though, shouts to Maisha Hines Allen, friend of the studio. hope she gets that ring for Minnesota.
Yeah. I'm kind of pulling for her too. I like Minnesota anyway, but that's just added bonus. Another Mystic or former Mystic kind of getting some showing some love. So
So who you got for the rest of the series?
I'm not gonna call who's gonna win. I haven't watched enough this season, but I'm probably rooting for Minnesota. But that's mostly because everyone else is rooting for New York. Mostly the people who don't watch that like pretend that they watching. They rooting for New York because they're the cool pick. So
they are stacked, but
no, they are. They're legit. But
though Jonquil is big for no reason, allegedly.
She could play though.
She can play.
When she used to be on Connecticut, she was like their best player. She just her role's a little different now, but like she can hoop. It's just.
But she's 6'6" and she played like she 5'5".
But sometimes, but she ain't no cat out there. She actually be down there. She just for whatever reason, game one she was kind of on the perimeter a little much for my liking, but she'll get it together. It'll be a good series. Yeah. I'm hoping for 5. Minnesota, take it.
Minnesota in 5, baby. That's what I want to see.
But we'll see. I'm not gonna be mad either way, especially if Breonna Stewart actually starts showing up, and Sabrina. Even that other white girl, I forgot her name.
I can't recall either.
She's coming off the bench now, but she was in Chicago. She can play.
Yeah. Looking forward to the rest of that series. But now we get to the meat.
Pause
of the podcast.
Because that's wild.
That was wild.
Because we about to transition to NBA. That's crazy.
That was totally unintentional, but that definitely needed a pause. But that's what you're here for the unintentional comedy. NBA talk, because we know the season is about to start 11 days from now. Well, when we're recording this, I don't know when this is going to drop, but Lakers start on the 22nd against Minnesota.
Sorry.
The final NBA TNT opening night.
I'm so mad they couldn't save that, but it is what it is.
Pour one out for TNT, but we are getting NBC back, so that's good.
Oh, I'll take it. Depending on who they bring on.
What I would have wished is that NBC would have became what ESPN is now, because ESPN is trash.
It is.
But ESPN ain't giving that shit up. I hope they get toppled at some day though. But anyway,
hey, NBC might bring in a crew. They got Maria Taylor.
Oh no, NBC's coverage is gonna be like that. I already know.
I want to see who they put next to her. Like the football coverage is pretty decent. I don't really watch it, but like it's a solid team. So we'll see who they put around.
I think NBC is gonna knock it out the park.
They definitely got the budget.
So let's go over who our top league pass teams are, or at least I'll go over mine, and then Bunche can comment if he has any comments. So my top 3 league pass teams are Charlotte Hornets, because of LaMelo Ball, if he's healthy. Hopefully he actually can stay out. As long as, let me say, Charlotte, as long as LaMelo's playing.
So Charlotte for like 40 games.
Right. Him and Brandon Miller with the new coach, Charles Lee. Very interested to see that. I think LaMelo is one of the best watchers in basketball when he actually plays.
I agree there.
And I think Brandon Miller is going to be awesome. Just a well-rounded wing that can do a bit of everything.
I think that's going to be one of my league passes teams too this year.
Now,
they were my league pass team last year until LaMelo got hurt, and then I just gave up on him.
And he only played like 22 games.
I gave up on him early. Yeah.
Number 1, I know Bunche is going to second this one. Indiana, light skin Jesus.
I actually got to take you probably surprised about. I don't like watching them as much as you think I would.
Well, Siakam does change.
It's not even that. Bit. So I obviously Tyrese Halliburton, light skin Moses. I haven't forgiven him for that Snow Bunny thing. I like Tyrese, but I like him more when he's not the best scorer on the team. the ball's in his hands too much for me now, and I don't really love that for him. I like it better when he's making quick passes. He's like quick decisions with the ball. It's in his hands and it's back out like immediately. Not like he does a lot of, I don't want to call it like LeBron ball, but he's dominating the ball like a little too much for my liking.
You would hope that that's going to change with Siakam around.
I don't know if Siakam's good enough, but I would have liked if Cat would have went to like Indiana. Because Cat's a better scorer than Halliburton, and Halliburton could have put him in the right positions, and then that would have been like, all right, cool. His basketball IQ could have took over and less. It's just, again, I love Halliburton, but it's sometimes it's too many shots for me.
That's fair. And I would say I have a few others I'm going to mention, but my number 3, maybe it's not even in order, but this one should be obvious. San Antonio.
Oh. Wrong.
We'll get
black and white jersey.
We'll get to Brooklyn for another reason, but
yeah, the Liberty.
Yeah, you're not big on Ben Simmons' revenge tour. No love for Cam Thomas and Cam Johnson and Dorian Finney-Smith.
Don't give a fuck about any of them in no Brooklyn jersey. But San Antonio, yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Pretty obvious. We don't even gotta delve too deep into that. My honorable mentions, though, are Memphis, the return of Ja. Also love Jaren Jackson.
I want to see what they do with Zach Edey too. That might be interesting.
And then Houston, all those young guys that they got.
So I think Houston's the top of my list this year for League Pass. They've been for a little bit, but I kind of, ever since they got Fred VanVleet and got rid of Kevin Porter Jr. as their point guard, I've been kind of trying to lock in with them a little bit.
You're not
they just added Steven Adams.
Having a real coach and not Kevin Porter Jr. as your point guard, that helps a lot.
I also like what's his name, Tariq Eason.
Tariq Eason. Yeah, he was hurt for a lot last year, but hopefully he'll be back strong this year.
They got a couple and Sengun, that's my guy.
Baby Jokic.
Yeah, that's been my guy since his rookie year. So I like him. So I like Houston. San Antonio, for obvious reasons. The only team Chris Paul couldn't make better was Golden State. So so we'll see what he can do in San Antonio, even though he's 53. And then probably the other team, Charlotte, again, depending on LaMelo's health. But like I want to say Orlando. I just don't like them for some reason, and I'm not really sure what it is. I like the Wagner brothers. I don't hate Paolo. I mean, I don't dislike.
I did think about Orlando.
I just don't know what it is exactly I don't like about them.
I mean,
that I don't love about them.
Offensively, they can be a little bit of a hard watch when they're not in transition. Paolo can hold the ball a bit too much, and Franz Wagner, for some reason, forgot how to shoot. And like all of last year and the Olympics. So hopefully he figures that out. I love Jalen Suggs, though.
I like Suggs. But then other than that, I think it's a cheat answer, but I think I'll be probably watching a little more Sacramento than I usually do. So.
And so now we're going to go to some negativity, because here at the Monty Mentality Podcast, we believe in negativity as much as positivity. You need that balance. You need some negativity in your life to keep you grounded, to keep you focused.
Let's get this 8 off.
So, bottom league pass teams.
Wizards.
I tried to avoid the Wizards, but yes, they're in there. The Clippers. That's another one.
Because Kawhi is going to play 13. No, he played last year. I ain't going to do that.
He did play a lot last year. But he's already hurt now. He hasn't practiced yet.
I low-key actually think addition from subtraction, they might be better than they were last year.
The Clippers?
Yes, I'm throwing shots at Paul George. I got to feel like they might be all right.
I got them getting 35 wins tops, but we'll see.
No, I got them like a 7 seed or something.
Because, hold on, let me see. I have the over-unders here because I had them pulled up before the show. Their over-under right now is 40.5. I would be floored if they hit that, but...
Oh, so that's about 500. So that's why I'd give them that.
I mean, they will probably be really good on defense. I'll give them that.
But I mean, now that they got the the rule on games played, Kawhi's going to play 65 games. James Harden seems not to be coming into the season out of shape this year. Paul George is gone, so that's a plus. More minutes for whoever. I don't even know who's on.
Derek Jones Jr. time.
Who else they got on their roster?
They got Kevin Porter Jr.
Never mind. I stand corrected. I'm sorry. Sorry for wasting y'all time.
And then Brooklyn. Yeah, that's my other team that
you forgot one.
Oh, who? The
Detroit.
Actually, I think Detroit might be more watchable than you think.
Because of Tobias Harris. That trade.
Maybe I should take that back. But I think with
I just don't believe in Cade Cunningham.
JB Bickerstaff, and I do believe in Cade. Now I don't think Cade's gonna be like a top 10 player or something, but
I just gotta see it. He's just as hurt as every other light skinned nigga in the league. So
I believe in you, Cade, but yeah, you do got to show something this year though. But also, I really like the Thompson twin, Asar, at least on defense. Now offense, train wreck, but
that's another reason why I like Houston. But yeah.
Oh yeah, Amen Thompson, yeah.
Because he doesn't have to score down there. They got enough ball handlers and scorers down there.
No,
so
but I think for him to really reach his potential, he will have to score. But he could be like
12 points a game.
Could be like an Iggy on the Warriors type of.
Everybody ain't got to drop 20.
No, but if you got Şengün and then either Jalen Green or Reed Shepherd or both.
I forgot about Shepherd. Yeah, I like him too.
Or both. Like if you have that, then yeah, Amen don't got to score. Like
you don't have to have. You don't got to be built like the Phoenix Suns. Like have some role players on the team.
And that's the thing with Asar. Now Detroit will probably have another high pick this year, so they'll have another chance to get someone in the pipeline. But
who they draft this year?
Ron Holland.
I don't even know what that is.
Well, he's a wing that also has struggles to shoot, but is plays really hard. And
is Joe Dumars still doing that?
Joe Dumars is not there. No, they just fired their other GM. So they got a new GM from New Orleans, Training Langdon.
Damn.
But yeah,
they can't draft for shit.
Well, actually, Ron Holland might actually be good, but I don't know how it's going to look early with their current roster construction. But also, Detroit also hired the dude from New Orleans, Fred Benson, I think his name is, that shooting coach that really transforms people into shooters, or at least good shooters.
Who do you transform? Brandon
Ingram, Lonzo Ball, some other niggas. Oh, Herb Jones. Make them viable shooters like that. If those guys in Detroit become viable shooters, that completely changes what they look like.
They go from 21 wins to 24.
I have more faith. I mean, well, this year you might be right. Their over-under is actually 25.5, and actually
25.5.
Yeah, we're gonna get to the over-unders since we're on that now. My most sure over-unders, just as a quick little look at them. I probably shouldn't have this on here, but I'm gonna have it anyway. The Utah Jazz over 29.5. Book it. Take it to the bank. All right. They're gonna win 30. Now I ain't saying they're gonna get to 35 or 6 or something.
I like a couple of their players, but they're trash.
But somebody gotta get some wins, because when you look at all these other teams, I mean, being in the West is only gonna cost you probably 2 games maybe, overall. Because keep in mind the schedules are largely the same.
No, well I'm saying it, but they're not winning no games in the West. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, they could beat Portland 4 times or whatever, and fucking
with that roster they'll probably split.
And they can split with San Antonio.
Nah, I saw Chris Paul throw 3 lobs to Wemby in one preseason game, more than he got all last year. It's a wrap. It's a wrap for the league. This nigga pumped at the 3-point line and when like that shit was crazy.
Oh my God.
I can't wait till the season starts.
Oh man, Wemby. I'm probably gonna try to watch almost every Wemby game I can in full.
They don't even sell his jerseys in smalls. That's how tall that nigga is. That's how big that nigga is. That shit is crazy.
Dog. Like, I think one of my nephews won a Wemby jersey, and I'm like, kid, you gonna have to wait for like 5 years, bro.
Right.
And my nephews ain't even that young. The youngest nephew turns 10 this month. So, and it still was like, yeah, kid, you gonna have to wait till you in high school, bro. Because they don't sell them in kids. I don't think.
No, Wemby's gonna go crazy. I know Chet thought he had a chance, but it's over.
Yeah. Wemby's gonna take over the world. Once they get a real creator in there, like that can score.
They got Harrison Barnes.
My bad, Harrison Barnes. You right. San Antonio to the playoffs. Let's get cracking. All right, next one I'm very sure about, despite how high this is. Oklahoma City over 56.5.
So you got them winning 57 or more.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I feel pretty confident about that. Like,
okay.
they took away Josh Giddey and added Hartenstein and Alex Caruso.
It's between them and Boston who got the most miscellaneous white people. Like, OKC's are actually like serviceable, like good players, but they stacked with whites.
You're not big on Sam Hauser and Peyton Pritchard.
Boston's not big on them. They just keep them there so they.
Luke Cornett vibes.
It was in the acquisition agreement. Like, if you want to buy the Celtics teams, you got to have at least 5 white dudes on the roster at all times.
That's big facts. But yeah, OKC over 56.5, and the other one. Dang, why am I being so positive? I got to come in with a negative one. But Brooklyn over 19.5. Now,
you got them over.
Yeah.
Oh.
Over. I mean, it's 19 wins. Like,
that seems like a lot.
Like they can, with the roster that they have now, if they just played the season out with no trades, no nothing, with what they have right now today.
If they played the Wizards 40 times, I would give you the over.
With the roster they have now, I think they would win like 28, 29 if they just played the season and like tried to win. But they're gonna probably be on that kind of pace for like the first 50 games, and they're gonna trade everybody, and that's gonna drag them down. But they'll end with like 20, 21.
Who's their best player? Who's their best scorer? Cam Thomas?
Cam Thomas.
Who's 2? And if you say Dennis Smith Jr., I'm gonna walk off.
Who is their second best scorer? Oof. Oh, Schroeder, probably.
Yep, I got the under. I like Schroeder, but nah.
They can play some defense. Now, granted, that's the thing that could really derail this if they decide not to try because they know what time.
Why would you? I wouldn't try. I got a fully guaranteed contract in Brooklyn, and I'm not winning.
Well, you might. Well, the reason you might try is so you can get traded out of there.
I'm getting traded regardless. Like Cam Thomas and Dorian Phoenix, they're getting traded. Like if a team, like if Phoenix comes calling or Sacramento.
All right, and the ones I'm the least sure about, Washington 21.5. Now, as you think Brooklyn is, that's how I feel about the Wizards.
And we're flipped because I feel like. You feel like with Brooklyn for the Wizards. I think they're going to hit 30.
And here's the thing, 21.5 is also very low. like if you look at the NBA over the last few years, like it is difficult to lose 60 games. Like, even if you're total butt cheeks, like it is hard.
How many wins they had last year?
But, and I was going to get to that. The Wizards, they won a large amount of games. They won 15 whole basketball games. That's a lot of wins.
They won 15?
Yes.
That's it?
Last year.
And they still didn't get the number 1 pick. Them niggas is ass.
Well, it's the lottery. They got up at number 2.
You win 15 games, you should get like the first 3 picks.
Because like
Christ.
Detroit won 14 games, and they picked number 5.
Last year?
Yes.
And you talking about 19 is not a lot. Man, get out of here.
But it's rare for teams to lose that much. Like now last year, yeah, you had you had a lot of super ass teams last year. You did,
and I don't think that's changing.
I don't think
everybody's
it's
just clicking
degree.
up.
I don't think it's going to be to that degree though.
All right, we'll see. I disagree.
I mean, also there is the race for Cooper flag, so you have that. But yeah, other ones, Pacers 47.5, just because I don't know if they're going to play enough defense.
I don't like it.
That could go either way. And then I know you disagree. The Pistons 25.5. I think that could go either way, up or down.
I know which way that's going.
I think they're going to try to win, and I think that with JB Bickerstaff in there,
I do like JB. I wish they stopped throwing black coaches in Detroit though.
Hey, it happens. And like I said, my hot take is, despite Wemby's godliness, San Antonio will be a bit more ass than people think.
My hot take, they win in. Okay, I don't know how much they're going to win, but I'm putting them in the playoffs. No playing. Actually, no playing. Because Chris Paul's going to get hurt at some point. He's going to miss like
12. Well, he's probably going to get traded, too.
Did you see the? No, he threw a lob to Wemby. He went like this. All last year, he played 82 games, and nobody thought to throw him a lob. Chris Paul just said,
throw it to the tall nigga.
Yeah.
That's all we got to do.
He made it look so easy. And it's like nobody even popped it and think to do that. Like, this shit is wild. They're winning 40 games.
All right. The reason why I'm down San Antonio is because themselves already hurt, and they have no shooting whatsoever.
You don't need shooting. You have Wemby and Chris Paul, the best point guard of our generation.
He knows to just throw it up there.
He did it 3 times. Like, that shit, I can't. No, you. That shit was fire.
All right, and as we close this out, top young players. We got 2 more things. Top young players we want to break out besides Victor Wembanyama, obviously.
I don't know if I'd care if they break out, but I'm looking for. Well, you go ahead. I'm blanking on my name.
So I'm gonna say the Thompson twins, Scoot Henderson, who was ass last year, and I hope that he becomes not ass this year. I want to see if Paolo takes that next big step to like, okay, you're like a good young star to like, oh, okay, like you're like one of like the guys now, or at least you look like you're about to be. I want to see Jaylen Green, just because I think he's the type of player that would be exciting if he's actually really good.
Yeah.
Who's some other ones? I want to see Evan Mobley actually have offense for once.
Yeah, he's on my list. I was going to say I want to see him take the next step for Cleveland to kind of take the next step.
That for Cleveland becomes like serious. They need Evan Mobley.
And I want to see probably top of my list. I want to see Sengun in Houston, like
become Baby Jokic,
like actually be in the center conversation.
Baby Jokic vibes.
Yeah.
And then lastly, what are the Lakers and Kings going to look like this year? I know the Lakers are going to win 68 games. Anthony Davis, MVP. LeBron, greatest 40-year-old of all time. Bronny is going to be riding the bench, and we're going to win a championship.
There's only one thing you said in there that was true. One thing. And it's probably not even that true. Bronny riding the bench. He's probably going to get a lot more minutes than you care to think.
Oh, my God.
What y'all over? And what do you
43.5. And I am back and forth on it. If I'm being Brandon, I am back and forth on whether we're going over or under, but I lean towards the over only because how much they hated Darvin Ham, and they're going to want to prove that he was the problem.
They can try to prove all they want. They're still ass.
But if
JJ Redick going to have Anthony Davis.
But if I'm
LeBron
going to be Monty, we smashing that fucking over, son. What are you talking about? Lakers, nigga.
All right, so what's Sacramento's over?
46.5. So they got to go 47 to go over.
I get that. I got us at, and I'm going to be modest because last time I was here, I completely disrespected the Oklahoma City Thunder and said we was going to beat them in 4. We didn't even see them. So I apologize to Sacramento for putting that kind of pressure on y'all. So I'm going to be a little modest here and say, you said 47?
46 and a half.
57.
All right. There you have it. Lakers winning 68, Kings winning 57.
The difference is he's joking, I'm not.
No jokes over here. Lakers winning number 18, baby. Fuck the Celtics, nigga. Bitch ass niggas. But anyways, that wraps the show, guys. So, of course, we love having Bunche here. And, of course, he'll be back again. Shouts to Greenhouse Studios, Mama Bunche, and Mama Pam. And like, subscribe, hit that bell button. And see y'all next time.